Several people have contacted me with great ideas for new features. I've implemented almost all of them and will explain the new features in this video. If you use QuickFigures for Western blots, you've probably added labels and arrows to point out specific bands or to indicate the position of specific molecular weights on a gel. QuickFigures now has special types of labels and arrows that help you make this type of figure more easily. There are a few advantages. Most obviously, when you're moving one around, there's a line that helps you align it to specific Western blot bands. Also, when you drag the handles on one of these arrows, you can adjust all of them uniformly or move this bundle as a group to keep everything nice, consistent, and perfectly aligned. You can drag one of these labels and they all move. You can add band marks to your figure by right-clicking on an image panel, going to Figure, Add Labels, and Add Band Marks. You type in how many you need to create and hit OK. This creates a bunch of them, and you can always add more by dragging this plus handle. The process of adding inset panels to your figure is easier than ever. Let's say you want to put one right here. You simply right-click on the main image panel, go to Add Shape, and add Split Channel Inset Panels. That will create the panels. You can edit this region of interest to change the shape of the panels shown. And you can change the scale simply by right-clicking on the region of interest, going to the Scale submenu, and then selecting the scale you want. To add another one, you simply right-click on the spot you want to add the other one, and go to Add Shape again. That adds another one that's the exact same size and shape as the first one. One user wanted to show his region of interest in more than one of the main panels. There's now an option to do that. Simply right-click on the region of interest and hit in the Copy Shape submenu Mirror to Sister Panels. That creates a set of identical regions of interest inside of the nearby panels. A user that had drawn several regions of interest wanted a quick and easy way to make each of these the same size. One can now do that by right-clicking and going to Copy Shape and selecting Use this size for the others. That makes each of these the same size. One user wanted a way to easily make sure this was an exact square. He can now do that. Right-click and go to Square Lock On. And that ensures that this stays an exact square no matter how I drag these handles. If you try to crop, it'll show you the crop area for the main image. Now, if you don't want to move around the locations of the insets, you simply check this checkbox over here and then change your crop area. And after you hit OK, the main image will be cropped differently, but the insets will be in the same equivalent locations. If you've been using ImageJ for quantification, you've probably drawn regions of interest. You can now show those regions of interest within a QuickFigures figure. First, we're going to add these regions of interest to this image's overlay. Image, Overlay, from ROI Manager. Then we hit the Quick Figure button. Our figure has been made. To show the overlay, we right-click on an image panel and go to the Overlay submenu, Show Overlay. We can show this in any number of daughter panels. Now this overlay cannot be directly clicked on. It's part of the image, but you can right-click on an image, go to the Overlay submenu, and go to the Edit submenu. In this case, I'm going to hit Edit Objects in Isolated Window. And in this window, I can make changes to the overlay objects. You can also move them around or make any other changes. The overlay has been changed. If you then go and try to crop it, you'll notice that the overlays appear here. And if you draw it such that only one of them is within the crop area, it will only show one of them. However, you can go back and recrop it later. The overlay will still be here in its entirety. Two different image panels can either share an overlay or have a unique overlay for each of them. In this case, these two image panels have slightly different overlays. I can right-click on one of them and go to Overlay and Sharing. There's a few options. In this case, I'd like to share the overlay. And now these two both have the same overlay. One can now invert the color of a particular channel panel by right-clicking on it and in the Channels menu hitting Invert Panel Color. With colors inverted, more subtle features are easily noticeable.